शम्भो महादेव देव शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव देव
Hi friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. So we'll start our discussion on a new subject today, which is on the tarot. This is going to be detailed discussion where we will try to understand all the FAQs surrounding this science. We'll also try to understand each and every card of the tarot deck in detail, and ultimately we'll practically start doing the readings, that how can someone's query be answered from tarot. It sounds a little bit mystical because all those people who follow astrology, palmistry, numerology, they must have this habit of finding out logic and scientific principle in everything. So that is the only reason people initially get into this mode of suspicion that this is not some kind of a legitimate mode of getting the guidance. But trust me on this, I have personally experienced this thing by myself, that if you will just try to get into deep into exploring the unknown, getting the deep knowledge of mysticism along with elevating your spiritual state, this is the form of divination which is going to help you big time. First of all, when it comes to understanding tarot, that what all are the mediums where it helps you. First of all, it helps you in character analysis. Second, it helps you in getting a glimpse of the future. Third, it helps you in getting the immediate solution of your delusions, immediate solution of your problems. And last, for getting into meditative state, for elevating your spiritual state. Because see, when it comes to differentiating, let's say for example, tarot with astrology, there is a very simple difference. Astrology is sacred, astrology is divine, there is no doubt to that. The Vedic astrology, if we have to understand its roots, so it even has got its mention in the most sacred knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, which is known as the Vedas. So we have the four Vedas, which were not being written, they were like heard by the primordial man, our revered sages and the saints who made themselves so pure for this knowledge that they received this knowledge straight from the gods. And just for the betterment of the humanity, these four Vedas were subcategorized into 6 Vedangas, one among which was the Jyotish, the astrology. So astrology is sacred, but when it comes to the profile of an astrologer, so it doesn't say that you have to be very righteous or you have to be spiritual. See, that is the best case, the ideal case, that if you're going to follow the astrology with a elevated divine and spiritual state, you're going to have a strong hold on astrology. But even if you are an atheist, you do not believe in God, but you have got strong mathematical skills, your maths is very strong, you can even become a very good astrologer and decode someone's chart. But when it comes to understanding the tarot and doing some kind of reading for someone from the medium of tarot, you need to have a personality, you need to have a belief system, you need to have a higher consciousness, you need to have a higher spiritual state. Then only you would be able to do a successful tarot reading for someone. Apart from that, just getting the knowledge of what all the cards mean and what is the history of tarot is not going to help you in giving guidance someone from the mediums of tarot. So this was just a basic foundation introduction of the tarot. We'll just try to understand it on these pillars, and then in the successive videos we'll have a detailed discussion on tarot. So let's say for example, the very first thing, how tarot can be defined. So like that I have already explained that tarot just helps you understand, it's a subconscious science, it helps you getting into the subconscious of someone. Second thing is, its domain is not restricted to only one thing, like only to astrology or Kabbalah or numerology. It's a consolidated knowledge of all the magics which has ever been known to humankind, to Kabbalah, mysticism, mysteries, philosophies, different religion. So this tarot is a merge, is a culmination, a amalgamation of all this knowledge which has been ever known to the human being or has been known from the centuries. When it comes to understanding the philosophy of tarot, that many cynics who have this notion that what could be the principle behind the functioning of the tarot. So let me just give you a very simple example. This theory which I have written here, synchronicity, this has been given by the famous psychologist Carl Jung, who believed that apart from the scientific explanation for the functioning of the world, which is based on the cause and effect, there is one more science which he termed as the synchronicity, which is based on the understanding the guiding energies of the universe. So according to him, all those coincidences which happen in the world, in the universe, or in our lives, they are not just the mere chances. They are they happen because of a reason. They can be studied and monitored in order to get a guidance in our life. He even explained this thing from the mirrors of quantum mechanics. That is just going to get little bit complicated for you people to understand on a very introductory video. All of it you can understand that it is a subconscious science. You pick up any form of divination, whether it's astrology, palmistry, reiki, in all form of meta sciences, a lot of stress has been given to the potential of the subconscious. So this is the region and area on which the science of tarot works, on someone's subconscious. Now when it comes to understanding the history of tarot, so there has been a little bit of the kind of contradiction over here, because some people believe that this has got originated from the Egypt, because there is a proper even thought supporting that, because the the god Thoth, who was of Osiris. So it has been believed that he invented the thought, he invented the numbers, and this form of divination, the tarot. Some people believe that it's the nomadic gypsies who roamed around in the Europe, and at the same time when this science came into, the tarot came into prominence. So many believer even assigned that tarot has got its roots and can be the origin of the tarot can be traced back to the nomadic and the traveling gypsies. Some people kind of denote and assign the China as the root and the origin of the tarot. So there has been different kind of kind of contradiction over here, but all what can be believed is that every culture, every country had its own form of divination, and tarot has traveled across all that centuries and all that civilization. Because even it has been believed that in Egypt at the time, in the great library of the Alexandria, when it got destroyed, so the city of Fez, which is now known as the Morocco. So that became, because of the great library of the Alexandria got destroyed, so the city of Fez, which is known as the Morocco, that became the intellectual capital of the world, and all the people across, all the intellectuals all across the world started coming there to this city. And just because there was not a common tongue, so there was a book which got assigned and distributed to everyone with the with some kind of ancient and some kind of mystical symbols present in that book. And the key to all those symbols were given by word of mouth from one initiate to another initiate. And later on what has been done is that the meaning of all those ancient symbols were assigned and were made in the form of these tarot cards, so that the mystics and the intellectuals can have a common tongue to understand and negotiate and talk with each other. So this tarot is just a amalgamation and of each of all the different kind of mysteries, philosophies, religion combined together. When it comes to understanding, now what happens is that when it comes to understanding the tarot, because what we are going to do is that we are going to discuss the Rider Waite tarot cards in our this discussion. These cards were developed in 1904 by the author Edward Waite, and he gave the instruction to the Pamela Coleman Smith. She was the illustrator who, on the instruction of the author Edward Waite, developed this card of deck in year 1904. So we are going to discuss this deck throughout in our discussion. So what has been what happened is that these tarot cards, which are 78 in numbers, can be divided. So we have initial total 78 pack of cards, which can be divided into two sets, one being the Major Arcana and another being the Minor Arcana. To begin with Major Arcana, just tells about the the major events of the life, even the highly, strongly, long-lasting, impactful events get seen from the major arcana cards. It just tells about the universal consciousness, the in the journey of the life, the kind of the situation which a soul goes through, from the hopes and fears, joys and sorrows. So these major arcana cards, which are 22 in numbers with one unnumbered card. So we have from 0, there is one card which is 0, and we have the 21 cards. So this 0 card has been assigned as the Fool, which is being seen as the representation of the soul. So soul on its journey goes through these 21 lessons or initiations to finally find the completeness in their life. So this is what is the kind of impression which major arcana, the significance which major arcana cards hold. Then we have another 56 cards which are divided into 4 suits. So which are divided into 4 suits. So these 4 suits are wands, cups, swords and pentacles. So what generally happen is that these minor arcana cards, see, first of all, arcana is a Latin word for the secret, hidden knowledge. So what is going to happen is that these 56 cards just tells about the knowledge of these, the application, the practical application of this universal knowledge into our daily lives. So this is how we see these 4 suits. Wands, which is analogous to the clubs as we used in the playing cards. Cups is analogous to the hearts. Swords is analogous to the spades. Pentacle is analogous to the diamonds. Wand is a fire element. Cups is a water element. Swords is a air element. Pentacles is a earth element. Wands just tells about creativity, action, movement. The risk-takingness, adventureness we see from the wands. Cups is a water element, it just tells about emotions, feelings and relationship. Swords is a air element which tells about intellect, thought and reason. In negative, it just tells about all the stress, anxiety, depression, paranoia. Pentacles just tells about the materialism, stability and the practicality we see from the pentacle cards. So this was just an introductory video. We are going to have our discussion in detail in all this form of this form of divination. So this was just a theoretical approach to it, and for the practically looking at the cards, let me take you guys to my workplace. So let's go over there. So friends, now we will practically look at the cards. Trust me, I could have shown you these cards at my home or even at my terrace where I generally record my videos. But it's just like that, when it comes to tarot, it's all about the aura, it's all about the energies. And this is the place where I generally do my readings. So that is the only reason the first sneak peek of the cards I just wanted to reveal and do over here at my workplace only. So as I have already explained that the tarot cards can be divided into 2 chunks, major arcana cards and the minor arcana cards. Major arcana cards have got deeper meaning, have got lasting effects. Major arcana cards which consist of 22 cards, of which one card is unnumbered, which is of the Fool. And as what has been believed that it is the soul, the soul separates from the spirit world and manifest in the physical existence, and in its these 21 cards are the journey of the soul, where it goes through hopes, fears, joys and sorrows and learn these 21 initiations, 21 lessons before attaining the fullness, the completeness. So this is what the major arcana cards are about. This is the very first unnumbered card, the Fool. This is the card number 1, which is the card of Magician. This is the card number 2 of the High Priestess. This is the card number 3 of the Empress. This is the card number 4 of the Emperor. This is the card number 5 of the Hierophant. This is the card number 6 of the Lovers. Card number 7, the Chariot card. Card number 8, the Strength card. Card number 9, the Hermit. Card number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. Card number 11, the Justice card. Card number 12, the Hanged Man. Card number 13, the Death card. Card number 14, the Temperance. Card number 15, the Devil. Card number 16, the Tower. Card number 17, the Star. Card number 18, the Moon. Card number 19, the Sun. Card number 20, the Judgment. Card number 21, the World card. So as I have already explained, the illustration of all these major arcana cards, they are the treasure house of all the imageries of the different Kabbalah systems, different philosophies, different religion, astrology, numerology, Kabbalah. So it was a treasure house of all that mysticism, all the magic which the human beings have ever known were comprised in the form of these illustrations. Now comes the part of understanding the minor arcana cards. As I have already told you that minor arcana cards have got more mundane and more worldly level effects. They just tell about our daily life. So the first card on the basis of the, because when it comes to the minor arcana cards, they are 56 in numbers. So on the basis of the elements, they have been divided into 4 categories. So the first category is of the wands, which is analogous to the clubs in the playing cards. So this is the Ace of Wands, and as being the fire element, this just tells about the movement, the beginning, the adventure. So all that we see from the wands. This is how the Two of Wands look like. This is how the Three of Wands look like. This is how the Four of Wands look like. This is how the Five of Wands look like. This is how the Six of Wands look like. This is how the Seven of Wands look like. This is how Eight of Wands look like. This is how Nine of Wands look like. This is how 10 of Wands look like. So now we have covered on the first element, which was of the wands. We have covered the 10 number cards, the pip cards. Now comes the court cards, the 4 court cards. Because each on the basis of elements, it just has the total count of 14 numbers. 10 being the number cards and 4 being the court cards. So the first court card is of the Page of Wands. Page generally tells about the message, some message, young guy with a message. Then comes the Knight of Wands. Knight can be a male or female. Then comes the Queen of Wands. And the last being the King of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles, which is analogous to the diamonds in the playing cards, and it represents the earth element. So all the concerns regarding finance, monetary, money and business are generally seen from the pentacles. Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 court cards, the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. The next element is the swords. Sword is analogous to the spades in the playing cards, and it represents the air element. So in its positive aspect, it just tells about the intellectual development. In its negative aspect, it just tells about the strife, stress, anxiety, depression, paranoia. Two of swords, three of swords, four of swords, five of swords, six of swords, seven of swords, eight of swords, nine of swords, 10 of swords, page of swords, knight of swords, queen of swords, and the king of swords. Now we have the ace of cups. Cups is analogous to the hearts in the playing cards, and cups represents the water element. So all the concerns regarding love, relationship, emotions, feelings are seen from the cups. Two of cups, three of cups, four of cups, five of cups, six of cups, seven of cups, eight of cups, nine of cups, 10 of cups, page of cups, knight of cups, queen of cups, and the king of cups. So we have finally seen the total 78 cards in a tarot deck. 22 being the major arcana cards, in which one was unnumbered, which was the Fool. Then we have seen the four different elements, the swords, pentacles, cups, and the wands. Each has got 10 number cards and the 4 code cards. So 14, 4, 56. So this was just an overview of how these cards look like. In the further videos, we are going to have a detailed discussion on what each card represent, how the different, how the meaning of the card changes in different spreads, and what all it could represent. So trust me on this, guys. You're going to love this journey of the tarot. The whole world of mysticism and hidden and unknown, functioning of the universe is going to open up in front of you very soon. So for further more updates and notification on tarot, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.